Hey there, babe. So I'm in the garden. Unfortunately, the noise you hear is some construction going on across the street. But I thought since we have a nice Indian summer day, it'd be a good day to show you around. I'm sitting here under our tree, give you some perspective on our two seats. There's your seat, you see, your chair, right here at Tema Gardens, and I'm seated here. Okay, so let's turn this around. You can get a view of the garden. I'm going to walk you through and show you how things are doing. It may look a little crazy to you compared to last year. But anyway, let's go on our tour, and here we go. Okay, our first stop, we're here on the north end, and let's get out of the sun. You can see this is the strawberry patch. Remember we planted the strawberries right before you left, and they grew and grew and grew, and we had strawberry. This is where your strawberry jam came through. And moving, hope you got a good view. Okay, moving this way. Over here, we have basil. I'm going to probably cut the rest of this down now. As you can see, we got 3 kinds of basil. We have cilantro coming in here, and cilantro a little further back. You can still see where the plants you planted before. Here we have carrots. We have carrots, and if you look closely, you may be able to see some coming up out of the ground. I'm going to send you some of these. I planted carrots here. It looks like they're barely sprouting now, so yeah, it's a good sign. So those are the colored carrots that are the babies we talked about. Okay, now here, you remember the long trough along here? We're on the east side of the garden. Hopefully you can see everything on the east side here. I'm hoping we saw the carrots, we saw basil, we saw cilantro. Now you can see this tall, let's see what we have going here. Hopefully, yeah, we're still taping. Hopefully you can see now these in the trough. This is where I have the jalapenos. You can see a few on here, growing through here, and then this bigger one right here. This one, this taller one, produces really well. They get jalapenos like crazy. You can see a few here and here. I hope you see these. Now over here, you can see bell peppers. They're growing. I haven't let them get real big because I figured, why feed the squirrels? I feed the ninjas. Okay, back here you can see these are Sweet 100 tomatoes. These are ones that grew wild and actually moved and transplanted over here to this end where last year where we had kale and Russian kale and things. And as you can see, there's tomatoes. You can see some, hopefully you can see some red ones here. In fact, I'm going to pick a couple and eat them. Hopefully you'll see that. Pull it back. Okay, going on. Over here we have the more tomatoes that grew kind of wild because of the weather. But these are the tigers or zebras. And the big boys here, as you can see, they're finally actually turning red. Here's one. I hope you can see. Actually getting some color now. It dropped off, but these haven't been turning red, but they're finally turning red. Here is the Cuban basil. You can see a little plant turn into a bush. And then here's some more stevia that's growing. The stevia. And then this is the only one of these that came up. In fact, I see some badness happening on here. In this trough, I planted some more spinach. I hope it comes up right now. Per the spinach, we've got a few little plants coming. This trough, I think, has got something crazy going on in it. If you look down there, you should be able to see cabbages that are just now starting to sprout. These are Chinese cabbage. And the stuff that looks like moss over there is our chamomile. Hopefully some more will come up. Okay, now we're passing. You see those okra in the back? That's going to be a story by itself, all by itself. Now here, back by the troughs, you can see on the outside, I had peas growing here. They're gone. I planted some new Chinese cabbage along there. And then these are wild tomatoes that got wilder than you can imagine. In here, we've got your peppermint. Peppermint is growing in here. So hopefully you saw the peppermint. Okay, let's go around. You can see Tina's stuff. She's cleared out a lot of her garden already. But you can see hers, and then you can see our wild tomatoes here. And you should be able to see some of the red ones. And then your special heirlooms that you really like, they grow like bells. I'm hoping maybe when you come back we can have some of those in the sauce. Then this, I did some surgery. I cut this so it could get some western exposure and growing, this we grew mint up here this year. And now I'm growing cabbages on the top. You might be able to see a few of them sprouting just along here of the cabbages, okay? Now, we'll go through here. This jungle we're going into is the okra, which is planted where we had tomatoes before. You won't believe how tall this stuff is. I'm going to try to give you some perspective, but here, let's take a look and you can see how productive this stuff is. Look at that. Look at that. I've cut like tons and tons. In fact, today, I just harvested a bunch for my classmate, Kimad, who's from Nigeria, and they eat a lot of okra, so I know he would enjoy it and appreciate it. We'll come back to there, and I'll show you some more. To finish up this side, you can see this is where our other, you can see the green onions and chives. This is where our other vertical was I took down. And earlier this year, this is where the cucumbers were growing. I took them out because they got blighted. And you can see some little sprouts. This is bok choy. So hopefully, by October, we'll have some nice bok choy coming up here. So, and you can see where I use the frame from the vertical to hold these crazy tomatoes back so we could grow some bok choy, but also to give it some shade because the bok choy doesn't like a lot of hot sun. Now I'm going to set this down for a minute to give you some perspective. Let's grab this and move down. While I'm moving, just so you know, I'm down here by Todd's, good old Professor Todd, his nice orderly garden. You can see his. And then this is Foolishness, what's her name? From the Black Farmers, of course. And then Foolishness #2, our other neighbor who just grows stuff and then lets it go. But in the meantime, I want to show you get perspective on this crazy okra. Hopefully you can see me. You can see me? Okay. Let's tip up so you can see up and see how tall this is. Look at this. This is the top of the okra. It is now officially taller than me. So you can see that the okra is now officially taller than me. So that means it's over 6 feet tall. That's crazy. Okay, so passing the okra, we're now going where I had planted our purple and then green beans, which just didn't do, as you can see, the heat burned them up and all that. And some of them are now starting to produce kind of anemically. Every time I start to pull them out, I see there's some producing. So I'm going to probably, since we got good weather, maybe give them one more week and then they come out. I've had enough to have one stir fry, but these, so you see all of this here? I'm going to give them some time to grow, and then I'll probably send you some beans so you can enjoy some. And then you see we're on the back side where you can see the tomatoes, our crazy tall okra, our giant okra. See that? See how tall that stuff is? Crazy, isn't it? Look how tall that is. Then here's our patch for our greens. As you can see, those did really well. And we're back to the beginning with the strawberries. So to give you a little more perspective, let's look around the garden. This Foolishness is corn. There's our little Tema farm seats where we were barbecues. You can see that. And then now you can see the back back here. For some reason, Darren thought it was a good idea to donate a bunch of sand, which I don't quite get, but there it is. And you can see the compost piles, the bricks. That's the new part of the garden. Here's Pam's space over here. She's actually, I guess you've seen pictures of like the big elephant plants. She's pulled down a lot of stuff. Some people, you know, they're doing better, but you can see these are collard greens. You can see how tall they got and big they got. So you can see this is again Pam's garden. Looks like she's starting to take it apart now. She's got Brussels sprouts that are rustling a little bit. And then there's, if you look over there, there's Todd's, that big kind of fan-looking plant down at the bottom. Those are horseradish. I hope I can get some. He's got a, good old Todd. Somewhere over here is your friend with the dogs place. You can see this is the tree. If you look in the back, you can see the water barrel. And so you know, her patch is over in here. It was hard to tell whether she took care of it or not, as you can see. I think it's right there because there's an eggplant on the corner. But that's that. So we're going to walk a little bit more, and you can see some, interesting stuff now that it's fall. The people that are hanging on are kind of hanging on. So this is the new, you see the new barbecue grill down there, way in the back. Maybe I'll walk down, you can see it. It's a really nice job. Darren actually had some of his guys build it. Then this is a friend of mine actually who gave me, I traded him some okra and some other stuff for the seeds he gave me for the spinach and all the Chinese and Japanese cabbages. So, hey, there's one of our neighbors. So, just to give you a view, you can see the tree. From here, across the street, you can see what they're building over there now. I hope you can see. You can see they're actually building, I guess it's going to be condos or something, but no more empty lot across the street, but lots of noise. So, now let's go. You can see, oh, and here we go. You can see the barbecue grill. There's this, you get a good nice view around the garden. And you can see the place under the shade tree, table, there's the barbecue grill. And then you have to see this is kind of in the backside now, where the tool shed is. A pretty little walk through here. These are our friends, the guy, you remember that gave us the fencing last year, the guy who's a singer and used to be Special Forces or something. Nice, they did pretty well this year. And then you can see big sunflower. Here's the tool shed, you remember?
Taking pictures?
Yeah, doing a little video for my garden mate, for Nika. Yeah.
Computer.
Yeah, I am talking to the computer with video, yeah. So you can see the tool shed so you know where we are. And I guess this year we're trying to actually do something with the compost pile. Now the hops. This year, instead of a little hop thing, the guy built an elephant, which it still kind of looks like an elephant, but huge hops, enough to make gallons and gallons of beer, I suppose, as you can see. Now I'm going to take you around to see our new grand entrance, which you'll recognize from last year, but you'll see what's going on. In fact, it should be a nice shot. So we're going down the row, kind of on the west side by the fence. It goes by the park, and you can see some more of what folks are doing. Kind of over here by Benja's space, there's sage, there's other stuff going on. Some really pretty flowers. Look at that. This side part over here, I don't know how productive it is, but it's really pretty. Smells great too. Wish you could smell it. So we're hoping to get it really does feel like we're going to get a nice Indian summer. So it's good that people, it was so hot earlier. I think it was hard, it was really hard, like people's stuff didn't really do well in the heat. Well, the okra did. As you can see, if you look across there, there's some okra we gave to our friends. You remember the guy, the vegetarians? He's from Nigeria. Really nice guy, my wife and the little girl. Those okra plants we gave them last year, they're growing there. And then up in the front, you can see where we are now. In the front, across the street. Now here's our new grand entrance, which I think I'll go this way and then pull back so you can see the whole thing. So. Hi, Robert. Robert, making a video. Yeah, I'm not the minister. So I'm the bag one. That's okay. I'm making a video for Nika.
You're Roger.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm making a video for Nika so she can see since she's been in California all summer. Yeah. Yeah. She's in language school out there studying Mandarin. Yeah. Yeah. Here, give her a wave if you can.
Oh, you're taking a video with your laptop?
Yeah, yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Nicole.
Yeah. So there you see the new grand entrance. How that's looking. So we'll have this thing. Hasn't really cut down on people coming. And guess who's here? We've got a friend who's coming. She can be new star of the video. And who do we have here? Say hi. Hey Pam. Oh, say hi to Nika.
Huh?
Say hi to Nika. I'm making a video for her.
Let me see her.
Well, I'm making a video for her. So,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
No,
Edit that
say hi.
part
No,
out.
say hi.
Nika, we miss you.
Yeah.
You showed us the garden?
Yeah. So we've been doing the tour. So Pam is here, as you can see. So,
Yay.
yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah. So,
We miss my Nika.
yeah, we all miss you. So
It was
anyway.
so random to come over here.
Yeah. So,
Come.
okay. So anyway, I'm going to say goodbye, and then I will edit this and send it to you. Love you very much, and see you later.